So since I'm last, can we just do a quick round of applause for the speakers that came before us? So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there are people that are climbing mountains so dangerous that the likelihood of reaching the top is equal to the likelihood of dying. You're going to think of Mount Everest first, but that's hardly the most dangerous. There's several more that are more dangerous than that people are climbing on purpose. And I've always thought these people were literally just crazy, until recently I heard a mountaineer explain it. They said the reason why they climb mountains is because they can't imagine a life where they're not climbing mountains. And they might have just been paraphrasing a Jay-Z song, but suddenly this ambition made so much sense to me. Somehow it reminded me of how I see myself, pouring myself out into this community, and what led me to run for local office. See, long before I was Maurice Cheeks, the community leader, I was just some kid. I never had any grand ambition for my life. I was a little biracial kid growing up in the south suburbs of Chicago. I had good parents and a couple of younger brothers, and I didn't have any grand ambition for my life at all. Certainly never to lead a city. And it was my greatest goal to someday get good enough at basketball to earn a college scholarship so that I could be the first in my family to go to college and set a good example for my younger brothers. And while I did go to college, and not by way of basketball, I often find myself reflecting on how this life became possible and this perspective that I have today. The perspective that I have today is that of a millennial, a young professional, a homeowner, an elected official, a husband, and most excitingly, an expecting father. Thank you. It's that last one that has me constantly thinking about how essential it is that we raise the bar for the next generation, that we help shape a future that is worthy of what we expect our children to be able to live in. And as I do that, I think about what made that possible for me. And I recognize it was you. It was community leaders just like you in the community that I grew up in who saw a little kid without too much direction and encouraged me and came beside me and said, you can do anything, right? And don't ever stop doing that. Continue to encourage young people at the micro level. But I want to challenge you. This is the big thing here. I need you to think bigger about how you can be ambitious at a macro level. You see, if you care about people, you have to care about cities. For the first time in the history of the world, the majority of the population is living in cities. And not huge cities like this. Here's why you're really smart. The vast majority of people, the majority of people living in cities are living in medium-sized cities, just like Madison, Wisconsin. One of the great things about cities is that by their nature, they require change. They require innovation. They require ambition in order to grow, in order to progress. Otherwise, they backslide. And so it's essential for us to be able to think past ourselves, to think past the next few years, to be able to shape a future intentionally. And you know who was awesome at that? By the way, this is just a picture of our city flag. For those of you who don't know, we have the best city flag in the whole world. Thank you. You know who was awesome at being ambitious about the future? It was every progressive American hero that you can imagine. Anyone who you think of still today, we're so excited to be able to tell the stories of those who were ambitious enough to shape a future that seemed difficult to imagine. Even here locally, we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to those that saw this city and this plot of land in between two lakes and had the ambition to imagine what it would look like as a bustling city someday. And so today, in 2015, in what's been called the century of the city, I believe we have all of the ingredients necessary to build a model progressive city, a city where everyone can thrive, where we create true upward mobility, where we can trust in our government and we can trust in the love of our neighbors. And I can't imagine a life where we're not working towards that. And so this is the mountain that I'm trying to climb. And I invite you guys to come with me, because I want someday for our children's children to be able to say, I'm so glad that those that came before us had the ambition to make this life possible. Thank you.